Action Campaign's video series explaining the legislative provisions in the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act of 2021. In this video, Jennifer and I will provide an overview on lowering the bond financing threshold to 25%. This Congress's Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act includes a new provision that would lower the bond financing threshold to 25%. For folks who are unfamiliar with the program and bond financing, Jennifer, could you please explain what that means?
Happy to, Marianne. In order for a development to receive the full amount of 4% housing credits to which it's eligible, at least a certain amount of total development and land costs must be financed by tax-exempt multifamily housing bonds. Right now, that minimum threshold is 50% of total costs. By reducing the threshold to 25%, we could build a lot more housing and reduce unnecessary transactional costs at the same time.
Can you explain why that is?
The vast majority of properties do not need and can't support so much debt. It means that their monthly debt service payments would be too high, given the reduced rents in housing credit properties. Developers usually refinance their properties when they place them in service, paying off the tax-exempt bond debt and replacing it with lower levels of permanent debt that is sized based on the rents the developer expects to charge. There are all sorts of unnecessary transactional costs because of this system. These include higher bond issuance fees than would be charged if the development took on less tax-exempt bond debt, higher third-party fees for lawyers, accountants, and other professionals, plus the fees associated with the refinancing. But there's a reason why this is even more problematic in some states.
Why is that, Jennifer?
A growing number of states are bond cap constrained, meaning that they have more demand for affordable housing than they are able to finance with their existing private activity bond cap authority. These states are forced to provide an excess of this scarce resource to individual projects just to unlock the 4% credits. Whereas if the bond financing threshold were lower, they could spread those resources around to more affordable developments. In effect, the 50% threshold limits states' ability to build and preserve affordable housing, which is why lowering this to 25% would be extremely beneficial. This is in Section 313 of the bill.
Thanks. Has the bond financing threshold always been set at 50%?
No. In fact, it was once set at 70%, but Congress lowered it to 50% in 1990. The 50% threshold is really an arbitrary number, whereas we now know that many of these properties support much lower debt levels over the long term. Lowering the threshold to 25% allows us to right-size the debt amount while still giving states the flexibility to provide higher levels of tax-exempt debt when it's necessary for a development's financing.
Do we know how many affordable homes this provision could help build?
It's estimated that lowering the private activity bond threshold could finance as many as 1,494,000 additional affordable homes between 2022 and 2031.
Thanks, Jennifer. For more of our video series, visit the Action Campaign at www.rentalhousingaction.org.